That's what I was talking about yesterday, was testing the, we didn't fully get it though, just still earlier. But I was talking about going up there and testing that 29.5 area. Did get up there. Just took a while. Actually took a bounce off the 68.3 to the downside to get up there. Boy, it rocketed right up too. It's just hammers home the point of what we do, why we do it, how important these levels are. Like you got the 68.3 right on the center of the new daily range. That's heavy up there. That's heavy. It's going to keep that price action down. But this thing's looking like it's wanting to pop up. Probably come back up, test this weekly. Let's see something. Is that still building? Yeah, there's just, I mean, well, I talked about this yesterday. Just all this bull div. There's a lot, especially when the low is coming from that big daily candle. Everything's lower lows. No, we're on all 4 of the indicators. There's bull div.
Yeah.
All 4 of them, not just 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Pretty money. So I'm wondering, are we going to come out and test this wave trend? Tell you what, and that's 35.5-ish, 35.5-ish, 35.370. It would be nice to close above this 9 length VLMA.
It is certainly in the cards.
Close up around 27.50. Yeah. Make a run to the top side of the daily range. That's right in there. We do that, we close above the 9. No, SPY dumped early. Let's take it. Let me let's go over here real quick. Yeah. Whoop, and then slowly over the day pulled back. Pulled back. This will be interesting. If SPY closes a freaking daily candle above this tight weekly range, this thing's got some work to do. I mean, this is a super tight range. SPY is gonna trend. What did we just finish up Tuesday? So it's got 3 more days, huh?
Yeah, that's tight.
Considering there's a very, very high probability this trends. It's like, which way are we trending?
Yeah.
I mean, we already pretty much tested the S1. We're going to test the R1. It's up there at 408. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bull div. I mean, just massive bull div everywhere. DLP. Fisher. Yeah, Fisher, not so much. Let me see something. Weak on the Fisher. Everything else is strong bull div. Yeah. And entropy percentile expanding, positively correlated. This is what I want to see. We're going to go back into randomness.
Yeah, or increase the trending.
Yeah. I mean, volatility continues to contract here. This baby's going to walk up. Since we're talking about mean reversion.
Yeah.
411, 408, yeah, man. Yep. That weekly range is right around the RMLR projection here. Real close. Pretty much dead on it almost, especially if it just next 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of direction, it's accurate, but not value.
No. Let's see. I know. What am I talking about? R1 was up there. Yeah. So that'd be a good place to run to. This will be interesting. Pre-market. Let's see if SPY opens up here. Pre-market pump above the weekly. I saw it dump in the morning and I was like, oh, this will be fun. 1 SD. Let's go back up. closed literally right on
Yeah.
bottom side of the 68.3. 2 wicks rejected from the center of the daily range. What I was wanting to look at. Whoops. Do 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 do. Let's add. What did I put that on? Correlation. That's, I just went ahead and kept this chart. Jesus, what's that on a daily? That's the thing about this craziness. Let's see. The way they've got this set up now is just ridiculous, man. It was so much better when I first started using their little correlation tool. I don't know what the hell they've done.
Which correlation tool? You mean the
Where you can add
trading view thing with the columns?
compare add symbols.
Yeah, yeah.
They used to all pop up over here.
Right.
And you could change
Yeah, you could change the asset.
You can change the asset, but you can also you could change where they're anchored, like what scale,
Right.
all stuff to make them work. Now it's like, okay, very interesting. There we go. Okay, defaults. But still, it's like, how do you get rid of them? So it's crazy.
You remove the comparison.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
How?
Right click on the columns there at the bottom. And you can remove the scale price now. It's in the columns of one of the three on the right. The settings button of the columns of one of the three on the right.
Well, what the hell?
Why isn't it showing?
Like, this might be it.
You could stick all the columns into one. I mean, all those kind columns into one, but that wouldn't.
Yeah, it'll fry everything. I guess it doesn't really. Here's the problem, though. I got all these on, so I just want to see SPY.
Right.
Maybe.
You need to turn the other ones off.
Reset, look, invert, regular, scale to left, labels, plus button, countdown to bar close. What in the world is going on, man?
Yeah, and they're not showing up in your indicators list there.
It's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Before they did whatever they did, when you would add a symbol, it would bring them up over here so you could change colors, do things.
Yeah.
Like now you got to just double click on them.
You can click on the individual one and then hide it or whatever, delete it or something.
But now
visibility.
How they delete one? It's just not happening. If I right click on them, there is no. I don't know what they've done.
Yeah.
Totally silly, though.
Yeah.
Is the chart maybe not on logarithmic or automatic or whatever it does? At the bottom right hand.
It's not log. No, it's not. The comparison is not log by default.
But yeah, you don't want it on log when you're doing that.
Not when you're comparing it to Bitcoin.
No, I'm saying the bottom. Oh, sorry, no, I can see them there. It's on.
Bilbo, you just select. If you want to hide one, you just select the line and hit delete key. Like pick one like the green one and hit delete, and it'll go away.
Oh, what the fuck?
I know. If at first you don't succeed, kick the door in.
What?
Smash the game.
There you go, man.
That's so
Who's the
silly.
best temp valley I ever saw?
Yeah, because this, I should have this on SPY. Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is the correlation of SPY. Man, on daily? Pretty highly correlated.
Yep.
So,
That's why it bounces. You can look for Bitcoin to act in kind.
yeah, 4 hour though.
Yeah.
Especially today, while Bitcoin was going up, SPY was going down.
Right.
Came back at the end of the day.
Yeah. And it made that pretty heel.
Alright. Silliness.
Trading View and their little UI updates.
Little dummies. Oh, trading view.
But what's really remarkable, I mean, honestly, again, like what you have on your screen right now, like, is the power of using something like AVR and or variance along with the entropy indicators. Because then you've got the returns and you got the entropy showing you, you know, the likelihood and the probabilities of a move going up or down and trending or random walk. And then with like the projection boss, you really, you know, you have a heck of a targeting tool there. Especially with that VRE. I mean, man, that VRE table is just, that VRE chart is just unreal. It's just unreal for targeting and levels and knowing when to enter and when to take profits. You know, it's just, you know, sometimes we even overcomplicate this stuff because we're digging around and looking for more stuff. When you look at the basics of how we do this with the existing tools we already have, I mean, it's just like taking candy from somebody who doesn't like candy.
Little vegan babies.
There you go. Taking candy from babies is not easy, but if they're vegan, maybe.
They're vegan. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the markets are little.
Yeah. The securities right now are. I'm cheating, say Ron. You're funny. How am I cheating? What information am I looking at? That's not fair. Yeah, I mean, markets right now obviously are going through heck because, you know, the past year we've seen like interest rates starting to creep up, and but that's going to obviously, you know, do what it's been doing the past year to, especially like, you know, any stock that isn't already a profitable company has been taking major hits. So lots of tech stocks or companies that are, you know, startups or whatever, recently IPO'd companies that weren't quite profitable, obviously all took a dive because that's what happens when you interest rate. It starts to creep up and companies aren't profitable. They start to lose value on the stock market, and the ones that are profitable, on the other hand, you know, they're not usually going to suffer the same consequence, and they can stomach a recession much better than the tens of thousands of little companies or not profitable companies who will have to go through much more significant changes along the way to survive, or they just go belly up. Yeah. Say Ron, RMLR is cheating. Yeah, man, it's good. It's good. It almost feels like cheating, but it isn't really, because you still have to know what you're doing to get it. Like, it's that's the thing about it. All these tools really are so damn good that it's like cheating, but it isn't cheating. It's just knowing how to read information properly and knowing what to do about it. Because, I mean, you can read this stuff well all day, but if you don't know what to do about it, what good does it do you, right? If you don't actually know how to pull a trade, well then, you haven't really learned much. Anyway.
Flipped up. See what happens. Since that dropped from like 30.5 yesterday, we had that slip going sideways pretty much. Had this little, but yeah, that's a start. Volatility starting to expand after literally printing zeros. Positive correlation. Entropy's telling a different story, at least on this 15-minute candle, right? This thing just might sit here stuck in the mud while we're going back into randomness, but it's losing its correlation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Losing my correlation.
that walk down a little bit, but see what happens.
There's
Until
a 7-day, a 3-day, and a 2-day closing on this one day. So
today,
there might be some, yeah, there
There's a
might be some
7-day,
grand
3-day, and 2-day closing today.
day, yeah,
Right
closing
on.
today, at least on Binance.
On what, on
And
Binance?
yeah, and depending on what you guys have your things set up as, if you hunt them, you might see that they're generating same signals. There we go. Return oscillator hitting the mean. That should match your 2-day or your
how's it
12-hour.
7 days not closing today. At least not on
He's looking on Binance.
Binance.
He's looking on Binance.
Hell, we just got a 7-day candle on the 21st.
Yeah, Binance trades differently.
Ah,
They're
Yeah.
all listed at different times.
Dude, bro trade shitcoin on the shitcoin exchange. What you want, man? What you want? He's got to look at
Oh,
Binance,
God.
man. CZ
Oh,
says his funds is Seifu.
They fool. He promised me.
He promised him.
definitely.
It is the bucket shop of degen coiners.
3-day and
So
2-day closing. At least
I
on-
don't mind taking trades that I'll hold for like 3 days or longer on
Ugh.
FX. But man, okay, this will be a pivot, whatever, just patience. Um, but to try do 1 minute, 5 minutes, I get better readings using Binance. I don't use Binance because of Binance. I just literally my signals generate what my mind is thinking through Binance.
Yeah,
FTX
well,
is a bit slow.
it's a very active exchange, so
Yeah.
you're going to have lots of good data there.
Yeah. So
That's
that's
the
sort
one.
of why
There's a reason.
for-
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like you have more accurate reading when you have more data. You have more data when you have and more people, and you have more people when you have more accurate data readings. Like it's like a self-fulfilling circle or whatever.
Yeah, so it's just sort of why I ended up there. But I suppose for Bitcoin and stuff, it doesn't really matter. But yeah,
He showed up with no condom.
sorry.
What?
It's easy.
Easy.
Trust that guy.
No, definitely don't trust that guy. Yeah.
It's easy or Curtis Wang, man. Where you gonna get those stable yields?
Hey, I hear so Justin Sun is throwing up an algo based stablecoin and pair like he did, like Terra Luna of his own. Wonder how that's gonna do.
Silly, man.
He's gonna make an announcement about it soon.
Mm-hmm.
What if he crashed Luna?
Yeah, that would be really counterproductive against his own interests because he's about to launch a coin that does the same thing.
All
Yeah.
this.
What if there's
Boots.
$79 billion? All of
Yeah.
a sudden he pops up. What?
Like, if they don't have faith in algo stablecoins now, why would they have faith in his when he's like one of the most notoriously PR oriented and least delivery oriented people there is
Yeah, for sure.
in the space?
I see.
Does Tron work? Yeah, Tron technically is a coin you can trade.
I didn't really with Tron actually.
You
Just
what?
read quick. Yeah, the network because it goes sideways all the time. The stupid coin. There's enough. Like if you send like a couple $100, the spreads are usually pretty good on most exchanges, and it just goes sideways. So if the system glitches and 30 minutes later, the price of the coin's still the same, man. And it's usually done in like 3 minutes. And it's
Yeah,
rare.
it's
I was
it's
shocked.
good for sending, but I mean, like you gotta realize, like it probably ain't good for holding long term. Not too long. Like even he calls it a shitcoin. Like, if the guy that made the coin calls it a shitcoin, well, what are you holding it for?
It generates fees. I've got to buy
It
a
does.
trading.
Yeah, it generates. There's certain benefits, whatever, but you know, if you're looking for long-term sort of easy value over time, I think Tron is probably not the best solution available.
It's the $150 punt that has saved me more than $150 in any transfers I've ever had to do. That was many years ago. So it just stakes, man. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit. If it gets
Yeah, man.
something, then just go buy something. Go buy this coin, NFT. I don't know.
That's the beauty, though, of all these tiny little altcoins. Like, if you get into the decent ones at an early enough stage and you put like a little nothing on them, you know, you can get a couple of winners and make some nice little bangs. But I mean, that's like investing and that's long-term stuff, and that's really not trading necessarily at all. That's really like on a wing and a prayer. You're hoping that this shitcoin will do better than that shitcoin. And you put your $100 in this, and maybe it'll turn into a grand or 10 grand or who knows what, because they'll do something insane. But you know, those are hit or miss, and there's no way to tell, like, just based on. I mean, there's no fundamental information on any currency, right? So there's no way to tell at the beginning stage of a startup what they're going to do, what their network value will be, and all that stuff. But you know, over time, the data comes in, and that's why as traders, it's much easier, frankly, to scalp and take profit than to sit there, put a big position on, or even a little one, and hold on for your dear life. And like, why would you suffer that? Just take the profit and go to the next trade. But yeah, I'm ranting.
As everyone does, everyone should.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but never mind all the other stuff we've been talking about this week, which is pretty exciting and all, I have to admit. But the regular tools, man, what we have in the system that is out there is just unbelievable for scalping. And this week in particular is a great example, because you can have crazy ranging days, crazy trading days with trends that are wacky, and nail them with the indies, or you can have ranging days, which is going up and down, up and down, up and down, and just nail the ranges with these tools by just doing the simple stuff we've been talking about, like taking only these trending moves, right? And being out of it when it's random. Like, you don't care if it's random. If it goes up or down, you don't care, right? When it's trending, be in the move, and then be out of it as soon as it gets out. Like, you're not in it to try to be in every single move. You're in it to try and be in the decent moves. So you can make a couple of quick trades throughout the day, or a bunch of quick trades throughout the day, whatever. And
can I quickly share a cool quote?
Sure.
Sort of on these lines.
Why not?
So I was just watching someone, like, I was just very good at auction theory. He's an older man, and he uses the software that I use to just verify my numbers here for alpha trading. And I realized all of a sudden that he was trading probabilities, and he mentioned float and statistics. And I was like, wow, this guy's saying what I'm saying and have been taught to say, but he's not using anything like it. So this is interesting. Let me see his perspective. And it's obviously the thousand ways to skin a cat. But the way he summed it up was so nice. It's like 7 words, I think. And his process is of reading the market. He says, if not, then this. Why not? Then float. So if it doesn't go down, then it will go up. Why didn't it go up? Then it will float down. You sort of see the clarity in trying to catch this S&P volatility expansion, contraction. I was very shocked, and I obviously wrote this down. But the latter part, so if not, then this, why not, then float, is I didn't think to always end with float, because sometimes you get confused. You're like, whoa, what's the market doing? But then if you go, hold up, let me look for float immediately, boom, you'll see it. Or you'll see it trying to form. You're like, okay.
Hilarious. Me and Sayron both put random walk into the gifts because I saw the one he posted too. Yep, we were doing it at the same time.
Ciron, do I trade random walks? Well, so here's the thing. You can, right? But you don't need to. And you can also shift down on your time frames to see that, in fact, what seems like a random walk, let's say on the 5-minute or even 15-minute, is in fact not at all a random walk on like the 3-minute or the 1-minute or the 30-second, right? So do I trade random walks? No, I don't look for them to trade, to be honest. But usually there are trends available on lower time frames that are just not necessarily visible on higher ones. And yeah, you know what? Let's put it this way. Until relatively recently, I would stay sometimes into a move a bit differently than I do now. But still, it's still pretty much the same thing. It's just with this new information, I have a tendency to say, yeah, get in early, get out early, take profit, and not really care about catching the entire move. I mean, I don't really care about catching the entire move anyway, but this really confirms kind of what I was doing before. It just makes it more sure to me because I understand how the asset is moving along in relation to the mean based on the probabilities, based on the variance and the standard deviation. So by seeing all that, whether I have the RMLR or not, I still have a very good idea because I've got like the UPM, I've got the bands, I've got the means, the power means, the median. I know all that information. So that's all very powerful information right there. The RMLR just makes it a bit more optimized, let's just say, and gives you 100% certainty of something very specific, right? The direction of the future RMLR is predicted by the past PA direction. That's it. But that's very useful information if you understand how the standard deviation, operates with relation to the mean, whether it's going back and forth, whether it's trending away or trending towards, or whether it's randomly walking away or randomly walking towards the mean, or whether the mean is the thing that's moving towards or away from the actual asset value, because sometimes it's the mean, right, that moves and not the price that jumps up or drops down towards it. It's very often the actual mean that moves its position relative to where the price action is. So the mean reverts, or the returns revert to the mean by the mean moving towards the actual return. That happens all the time. And again, you don't necessarily need the advanced tools that we're working on for that. You can do that with the advanced tools we already have that do that. They just show it in a different way. I hope that makes sense, Ciron. But yeah, man, random walks are cool.
They're random.
Yeah. And Africa, man, that's a funky quote about floating. It reminds me of if this then that, or also known as our very likely tendencies that we don't actually call rules, but they really are damn close to rules. That's why we call them tendencies.
It's coded. It's like coded. But two sides of the equation. No, it's like coded. Just got to pay attention to the other side. Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me very much of the tendencies. It's like if you have these things, this thing is likely to happen. Like same concept, and it is very much that's how we are basing so much of the tendencies that we tend to trade off, right, around here. So
yeah.
It works. Like we know when volatility is contracted and fully contracted, and correlation is way down and it's got nowhere to go but up. We know what's going to happen. Like when they expand, go long. And then TP when you hit a couple standard deviations out, or whatever your calculation is on your position. But definitely don't TP based on price action without considering the volatility and the entropy, because those are the things that tell you what's going on. returns and all that stuff.
You wanna?
I say this mostly really for, I mean, obviously you guys who might be listening to this later, but also for anybody else who's listening to this at some point later, who's like, what the heck are these guys even talking about? We are talking about trading volatility, probability, and statistics, and that's what we do. So when you hear us refer to things like 61.3 or whatever, sorry, 68.3%, right? We're not talking about the, what is it in Fibonacci? They have the 61.8 or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about Fibonacci levels. It has nothing to do with what we do.
The golden pocket.
The golden, right, I forgot about, the golden pocket. That has some magical number, I don't know what, but apparently if you fidget with your golden pocket, you can find some kind of a thing to help yourself get wrecked with.
Somebody in the chat's got to know it. What is it? 68.4 or something?
61 point, it was a 61.8, right? Or 75 or 50 or...
Yeah.
I don't know, there's some magical number. I used to know it, I forgot it because it's a joke.
Now you're going to make me pull up the tool, which I haven't used.
No,
in
don't
2
you
years.
dare pull up a frickin' fib. Do not do that. You can't unsee that, man. You'll poison your eyes.
DJ hears fib, and he just all of a sudden starts talking. So now we know. That cat on the back porch, ballsy son of a bitch. I should let the dogs out, see how that works out for him.
This is a new friend.
Fuck. Where'd he crawl out of the woods? What the hell? Where'd you come from, dude?
Oh, yeah, I was working in the background. Sorry.
All good, man.
We like your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice to hear from you, man. Nice to hear from you.
you know, I mean, if you want to have a talk later, we can have a talk later.
Private
Yeah,
chat.
private talk.
Hang on, let me just send you his OnlyFans page.
I want you to send me a video of you randomly walking. I'm going to see what it looks like.
Oh, my.
That's what I want. Point. So everybody's like, are these guys going to give us any signals? Can I get signals out of this channel? If you understand what's being spoken, maybe. That's what's great. Holy mercy. What the hell am I looking at?
These are trending moves.
That's trending news.
Trending moves. Good fashion trends.
Oh, Jesus. So we got random walks and trending moves.
That's right.
Two random walks right into a trending move. It's funny. Oh, shit. That's what we do here. We have fun.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
But once you figured out how to trade, it's really, you may as well enjoy it.
That'll be down here. Well, let's pop this back on.
Unlike the other TA channels where they got to talk really seriously about stuff that they're probably going to lose a lot of money on because they don't know how else to cope with it. We kind of enjoy ourselves because we know what we're doing. So
That's
Right.
yeah, it's a little bit different around here.
Just a little bit different.
And one of the ways you can tell is when you ask one of us a question, you actually get a clear answer, as opposed to so many other communities where you ask a question and you will never hear from the quote-unquote founder of the group, and if you do, you get some very archaic answer that's completely not clear, and then other minions of his or her will tell you some other explanation that is not at all clear and not in agreement with other minions that will tell you their explanations of it, and so on and so forth. Around here, you get the same answer from pretty much anyone you ask because it's the same information being read properly. It doesn't change and there's no voodoo, which is nice.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Amen, brother.
Hey, man. But speaking of voodoo, I'm gonna have a puff.
Hey, hey now.
Hey, Doob, don't let me down.
Got my CBD oil in for my dog. The powerful stuff. And he's sleeping.
Well, that's what happens.
Especially, it's better than coffee. I don't like that. Crazy. Every time you
Interesting.
cough, right, hits my heart chord.
Can I
I'm
ask?
gonna fall out of this. Yeah, I think Bitcoin's getting ready to do a little poppy. It's been revving up to do a pop. Going into the end of the day here, maybe test the weekly range. Pull up about 1,000. See. And the 4-hour variance is turning up positively correlated.
Can we sneak a peek at your 45 minutes? It might be closing now in 22 seconds.
50
Oh,
an outlier on the 45.
nice. So I don't know how to really correctly read that RMSD score, but it's drilled into me that that is a good spot.
And this is
Going
how the
back
correlation can flip real quick. Change the depth 345-minute candles. The percentile almost totally contracted while it's significantly negatively correlated. Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. Contraction negatively correlated. Of course, on the 45, way above the mean.
What number are we in your LRA? The reverse mean log returns. What number is standard is that? 4, 3?
Do what?
Those bands to the top side, the blue ones,
Yeah,
top right side.
sitting on
Is
top.
that number 3, line 3?
It's the 2SD band.
Oh,
Right,
2 is.
right now, a little bit above it. I actually like this to go up for sure, and that future mean is going to pop. This week's going to be interesting. I mean, we've got tight ranges all over the place. Bitcoin and SPY. I'm sure NASDAQ is too. We haven't seen the trend we're going to see. We did get a little drop, obviously. But I do have feeling it's going to trend to the top side looking at all these higher time frames, but I don't trade higher time frames. So there you go. Take that information at your own risk. We trade low time frame volatility. You can't go wrong. Everybody knows I like looking at the 4-hour, the 90, the 45, and the 15 when I'm setting up a trading day, right? 8:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, pre-market on SPY, and traditional markets is cooking. I'm looking at correlations on low time frames. Like today, if I'm trading Bitcoin, I'm not trading SPY at all. It even was probably stronger negatively correlated on the lower. I mean, hell, I only went down to what, 4-hour, and it was definitely negatively correlated. And is when I really like to trade multiple assets is when they are significantly positively correlated. That's a no-brainer, especially when the correlation's rising, right? When you're sloping up, right? When it gets positively so significant, those are great times. Easy to read. When it's already significantly correlated, you got to really pay attention to the slope because it could still be there. It could still be significant, but lose its strength for sure. Huh. Nice. Yeah, 15-minute volatility is pretty crushed.
would you say a bull dip is forming on divergence? Let me just say is going to form on a ATRO and price action.
On what time frame? 15?
Yeah, this one we're looking at.
There's nothing right now.
Inverted down a bit high. Previous.
You go way back here. There's some hidden bear. It's starting to build for the first time. I mean, if we, right? I want to see what happens here.
Yeah.
When's that 15-minute close? 10 minutes? Let's see if we get a bounce hill. I mean, you can see we're up here though. Log return Z-score is way high. You know what happens usually.
AT and ACP and PC.
But let me see. PM. We already looked. The 15 has flipped, but is what I want to see is all these badass alpha trading indicators. Whoops, wrong side. Damn you, man. Boop, boop. Sound effects. There we go. Oh, stuck me right on it too, didn't it? Let's back this baby up. 3 more candles. Real quick. Yeah. See, boom. The 15 anyway, right? Runs up, 99.7 Laplace. Rejection, of course. But we're finding support on this 95.4 right here. 30.5. Imagine that. So yeah, this is interesting. I like that projection. Obviously, I'd probably be done with it. I just wanted to see where we're at. Let me see something real quick. Yeah. There's nothing. I mean, if any projection, it's going to be, yeah, that 4 hour move to the downside. Yeah, we start all the way back here. Pretty bearish little 4 hour candle.
What are you looking at on the blue box? The percentages.
Just looking at this past projection. Whoops. Don't get too excited. Yep, where I wanted it. Yeah, this baby flew outside. Boy, even trying to come back in, rejecting. Rejection. Now we're back up inside. Found some support down here. Yeah, I mean, I said it yesterday. I mean, I really do. I don't trade on feelings, right? But I feel like this thing's gonna run to 40K first. I really do. Let me see something. Let's play.
RO's looking sexy.
RO looking. First, let's throw this right here. 20 bars. Doesn't matter what time frame. You know, if you're starting the projection in the correct spot, you're gonna see why we use this. I mean, you talk about just a profit taking machine. Why would you not? You're out of this trade on this on this, right? If you're swing trading this volatility on the daily, I highly do not recommend that. But let's just say even this is a daily chart. But what if this is the 5-minute? You're taking your profit, right? Down here. Big time. You don't care what happens after this. And look, was that a good place? Did you miss out on some? I mean, if we're talking, now this is the daily, so yeah, boy, that thing dropped a lot. But if this is a 5-minute chart, perfect exit. Crying out loud. Perfect exit. Now it's getting ready to see on this daily. Are we going to creep up, find support on the 95.4, start working back up here to the mean of that projection? Who knows? There's so much stuff at 40K. It's crazy. That'll catch some people off guard. Be nice. Me and MJ are begging the price of Solana to be at $100 here in about another 10 days. For these fucking mints.
Dude, they are the Portuguese.
So I don't want it to be 5 sol, 4 or 5 sol. I want it to be 2, 2.5.
Yeah, right. I can pay 5 sol then.
If it's
Yeah.
5 sol, I need 100 sol to just mint all my bubble goose.
Oh shit! I'll give you some salt to mint bubble goose. We can go hobbies.
Sure. Oh yeah, there'd be a lot of people. Hey man. I'd be more than happy to mint those for you. No. I'll sell my toenails online to make some extra money.
Yeah.
Hell, there's people selling all kinds of weird shit. Sell my sweaty t-shirts. Let's see.
Sign them. You can charge like extra $50.
Bilbo was here. Half a little note. How was this sweat generated? I was chainsawing all day. Let's see. I don't even know how the hell we just got on that. My twisted mind. Let's see.
Well, you'll get a better price with the tick blood on the shirt as well.
Right. I bet. Move this. Let me see something. Okay, all time high back. This is the 48K. First, push it. Get back. 25. Yeah, at this point, right? We're just having fun with the projection boss. That's all. Yeah. Stabilizing on the 95.4 after the 48K high. I'd like to see this recent move though, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 little bars. So 10 bars on a 2-day chart. That's easy math. Yeah, I mean, here we go again. It's just beautiful. No brainer. Yeah, but look at that 2-day projection. That's just beautiful. I mean, you hit that 99.7 Laplace at some point. I mean, there's so many cases where it starts going sideways. Where to? Usually the 95.4. Then you find support on top of that, start climbing out of the hole because there's a 68.3% chance this gets retested. And the mean of this projection on the 2-day is where? Yeah, I mean, it's right up there, 40K. All right, we're going to wrap it up though. I highly recommend people playing with the projection pause. You even need to, I mean, all these moves. When you anchor it in the right spot, you'll see it. These levels are very respected. It's all about probabilities. When people are wondering why we get this big wick and why it pulls back up, and I don't even have here, what is that, 2-day? Kick this up on a 2-day. And where was the candle I wanted to look at? Which one? Hold on. Yeah, the start the projection stuff. What was that fourth one with the big wick? Ooh, top 30. This bad boy. Yeah. Well, not only so on the 2-day projection, right? It pulls right back up inside the 99.7 Laplace. Like all I gotta do is back this up. Let's see. Which one is on? You know what? I'm gonna turn that PB2 on. Put this on 10. Pretty sure it was 10. Yeah. Turn off the PB1s. There we go. So, turn off. There we go. Clarity. So you get that big wick on that 2-day candle. It goes down. Not only are you down here testing the 99.7% Laplace distribution range, right? From 40K. You also, on that current candle, ran it down to the 99.7 Laplace. I mean, the probabilities for this to pull back up inside here were very strong. I'm surprised it didn't pull all the way back up inside the 1SD. Okay, good stuff. Let's end it on that. Let's end it on that. And yeah, tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back. Let's see what this market does tonight. I'm starting to itch too. I'm wanting to trade. But I will I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Cheers. Have a good one.
Yep, you too.